Hello there, friends. It is currently 7:50 p.m. where I am, and I have done absolutely nothing today. But I saw a new season came out for Rocket League, so placement matches time. I'm recording this the Wednesday after my Rocket League GOAT video came out, and it went pretty well, I would say. The RLCS GOAT video did really well for me. Thank you, people. As of now, it has the third most watch hours on my channel out of any of my videos. How the hell? And I also think the results did pretty well too, like it was just a better list than last time. I saw a lot of suggestions that you guys had for improvements that I could make, and I did read all of them, and I do legitimately appreciate the criticism and the advice, and I will be doing that next time for part 3, because at this point, I'm doing part 3. The like goals doesn't matter anymore. I'm doing it. I like it. Yeah, a lot of the suggestions that you guys had were really good. Somebody in there wrote, we don't gotta talk about it, okay? A lot of suggestions that you guys had were really good, but some of them just weren't really doable. Like, I got a few suggestions for the different ways that I could have done the weighing of competitive results. A few of them stating that I should only use competitive results. A few of them saying that it biased the new players too much. A few of them saying that it biased the old players too much, which I think is good, because if you have people saying I'm biased both ways, then that means I'm not biased. Or at least not too biased, you know? Oh. Let's go. Anyways, yeah, I'm definitely biased, but the fact that people are saying that I'm biased both ways is a good thing for me, I think. Like, there are a few things that I did very obviously mess up, and a few things that people didn't notice that I messed up, which I'm very glad for, but, like, they're the things that I noticed, like, midway through editing, and at that point, I was too far in, and I couldn't turn back. I actually had 2 stats that I scrapped for the video. I don't just plug in the numbers and hope that everything works out. I plug in the numbers and then see if things kind of make sense. Like, if there's some sort of, like, reasonable train of thought to explain why players rank where they rank in a certain stat, then I'm including it in the video. But if there's not, then I'm not including it in the video. And that was the case for 3 stats, where for one reason or another, I just completely scrapped them. Those stats were mechanical advancement, meta refinement, and overall impact. 2 of them are kind of cool how they're supposed to work, and the third, like the impact stat, was just supposed to be like a community poll. But I went about it in a really weird way. Like, instead of just putting the polls onto the RLCS Esports subreddit, I tried to make my own dedicated subreddit for it, and it didn't work. I just went about it in a really bad way. If I had done it just on the subreddit, I know that people would have participated because it's just an interesting idea overall. Oh, wow, that's cool. That is so much easier. Bro, that's what it means by switching the screen over when the demos happen. That's so cool. That's so much better. The 2 other stats that I didn't include, mechanical advancement and meta refinement, they were supposed to use a mixture of stats that mainly pulled from the player's altitude percentage and ball proximity stats and field positioning stats, and compare them to the averages for the next season. And that's what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to judge, like, how close to next season's meta a player was playing at. It didn't really work. It was just weird. Banana Head ended up placing in first in the mechanical advancement stat. Squishy was nowhere to be found for some reason, where we know for a fact that's not true. And that's another thing that I want to mention. Like, a lot of the stats that I used, like all of the more complicated ones, like the 1v1 prowess and the peak performance, those went through a lot of, like, testing phases in order to try to get them, like, as close to reasonable as possible. That's part of the reason why I introduced the regional Look, I tried, okay? I tried my best. What was I supposed to do there? Like, how am I How? Like, the physical play stat is the main reason why I got the idea for regional constants. Because without those regional constants being employed, Virtuoso would be number 1. And no disrespect to Virtuoso, but, like, hell no. Crap. I'm stupid. I'm so dumb. Bro, you had an open net. You can't make this up. I know that I was the problem there, but, like, come on, man. just get your dribbles down, my guy. Flick it. You could just jump and then side flip and then it would be fine, and then you didn't. I'm gonna be a plat. It's the worst day of my life. Come on, man. That was so good. Alright, Worlds predictions. Honestly, I feel like it's harder to decide the top 8 than who's gonna win. Because, like, there are a lot of sleeper picks, and I know that it's crazy, and I know that I haven't learned my lesson yet, but I still have some levels of faith in power, you know? I still want to believe that they might do something. I just want them at some point in time, somehow, some way, to put it together, you know? But yeah, back to Worlds predictions. I do still want to have faith in power, you know? Like, I desperately want them to do better than round 5. I want them to get a few upsets. Like, not just one upset, a few upsets, you know? As long as they're not on NA teams, you know? Like, get some upsets on the EU teams. Like, knock out an Oxygen, you know? Like, ruin BDS's day. Just don't do anything to Gen G, alright? Gen G are my boys. I have them making top 4s and then losing to Falcons. Or something like that. Yeah, top 8. My locks for top 8 are Vitality, Gentlemates, Falcons, G2, Furia. Those 5 are locks for top 8. I could see Gen G making top 8. I could see Common Core. Honestly, I'm just glad that this season is ending. Just because, like, it's been a bit of a mess. Like, we all know the problems with the formatting. I'm actually planning on recording my reactions for at least, like, the last 3 days of the tournament and then uploading them. I might also have some friends in the call, I don't know. If I do have any friends in the call, they will have no idea what's going on because I do not know anyone who has any idea what is happening in Rocket League whatsoever. I should also have a Hollow Knight video done by that time. I was supposed to upload it this Saturday, but I had this idea instead. So, here it is. Nice try, jackass. Oh, damn. Bro, that is so useful. The camera movement is so much fun. For everything bad that Epic has done to the game, which is a lot of stuff, they at least got this right. But speaking of stuff that they got wrong, let's talk about the format. Number 1, there needs to be some kind of guarantee for teams that make top 8 to make the next regional as well. Like, there cannot be any universe where that doesn't happen, and the esports still continues to survive. Like, every team that makes top 8 should be guaranteed at least top 16 for the next regional. And that does not seem like a very large ask. It's just common sense. At least in some of the cases, the brackets need a different format. Swiss stage over and over again just gets stale. First regional, make it Swiss stage, yeah. Second regional, throw in a double elimination. There's no harm in that. You still get a top 8, still get a bunch of fun tournaments. The only problem is the schedule is a tiny bit less consistent because there's the chance for a bracket reset. And even then, that's not a big problem. We will gladly watch more series if the series are fun. I think what I'm trying to say is Swiss stage is too much. Also, we are not ending on a loss. We are ending on a win. I do not care. We are D2 Division 1. That is fine. We are ending on a win. But yeah, 2 things that I think needs to change so far. Number 1, some kind of guarantee for top 8s in regionals, making the top 6 for next regional. And number 2, at least one of the regionals, every split, should be a different bracket other than Swiss. Because I just think that would increase the engagement. I think it would spice things up. Sure, it would be a little bit confusing to new viewers, but I just feel like it's a good quality of life fix. Just because it provides some variety, it doesn't keep everything stale. Number 3, there needs to be 3 splits. This is the most obvious change that I think anyone could possibly make. There needs to be 3 splits. It is non-negotiable. We need 3 splits. We cannot have this massive 2-3 month long break in between the last major and the literal grand finals because half the people forgot that this thing was even happening. And they had to be reminded with community posts. That's not the kind of future that I think anyone wants for this esport. Fall split should have 2-3 weeks between the winter split, and then 2-3 weeks for the spring split, and then a month in between then and the finals, because I feel like that's a reasonable time for teams to, like, get prepared for smaller events to happen. Like, whatever the break between each split is, make that, like, 1 week longer, and that's the break between the last split and Worlds. That's the 3rd big change that I think has to happen. 4th big change. Put wildcards back in. There are going to be people who complain about how long it is. Screw them. Who cares? We get to see more teams playing Rocket League. And by an extension, that also means that we don't need to offer like legitimate official spots to the minor regions, where we go back to the old ways where it was earned by the performances that you had during actual LAN competitions, and regions could earn more regional points for their teams and qualify more of their region's team to the LANs. Whereas now we have regions rooting against each other because they want to make LAN and they don't want the other team to make LAN because the regional spots are locked. And that's not fun. Wildcard is long, yes. Wildcard is boring, yes. But we've seen what wildcard would be like dozens and dozens of times this season. We have seen that over and over again in every single Swiss bracket. And the LAN Swiss brackets here don't take more than 2 days. You have 2 separate mini venues with crowds for 2 separate spots. If they want to go to one place, they can go to one place. If they want to go to another place, they can go to another place. There's no A spot, there's no B spot, there's just spot 1 and 2, equal sizes, equal venues, equal crowd space, all of that. 2 Swiss bracket matches going on at the same time, like we had for the Swiss bracket stages of LAN 1, LAN 2, Copenhagen, and London 3.0. We could use the top 8 from that Swiss stage to decide the seedings for the overall tournament and the teams that make it in and the teams that don't make it in. So then, potentially, we could have all the teams that people are complaining about not making it now, they could potentially be playing. Complexity could be playing right now. Rule 1, like if they had stayed together, could be playing right now. RMC could be playing right now. Oxygen would definitely be playing right now. Luna Galaxy could be playing right now. There's a whole bunch of teams that aren't playing right now, but they could be playing right now if the wildcard bracket only existed. The wildcard bracket, in my mind, is a must, and I don't think there is a world where people are satisfied if we don't have something at least similar to it, because that's the only way that we're getting representation that all the regions really want, unless we want to do 32 teams in a LAN and then keep it like that, which I'm not opposed to. I feel like the skill ceiling has progressed enough that we could potentially do a 32-team LAN. Group stage of best of 3s, and then Swiss stage of best of 5s, and then single elimination 18 bracket of best of 7s. Like, I don't know why no one else has suggested that, but I think that that's honestly a good move, because it gives more teams the opportunity to compete, it gives more teams the opportunity to do what they're being paid to do, it incentivizes more organizations to stay in, and even though it does take longer for the things to happen, and it does take longer for the LANs to complete, who cares? It's more Rocket League. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, then make sure to leave a like. Feel free to subscribe. It's completely free and you can always change your mind later. Anyways, that's all I have to say for now. Calling it there. See you later.